Hello and welcome to the video. I'm CuddlyJay and today we shall be rating the vehicles from S tier to D tier in the good old Battlefront 2 from 2005, the original game, the classic one. And basically, I'll go over the tiers, I guess. So S tier, as I said, is the best of the best, the most fun. A tier is above average, B tier is average, C tier is under average, and then D tier is absolute rubbish and deserves to be in the rubbish bin. So I think we should start off with one of the rubbish bins, and that is the single trooper aerial platform, or as it's also known as the STAP. And I'll be honest, they should have stapped and not added it to the game, because yeah, it's just awful. I never liked the thing. It feels clunky, doesn't feel good to drive in Battlefront 2 Classic, and it's just overall not a very good vehicle in my opinion. I think it can get you around the map fast, so that's where maybe, I would go, you know what, if you want to get to a certain area of the map, sure, this is the vehicle for you. But overall, it just seems to be a bit rubbish, and I don't really like it, so it deserves to be in the rubbish bin. Next, we'll go with the All-Terrain Recon Transport, also known as the ATRT. And I'm going to throw this one, I think I'll throw this one actually, in A tier. I think it deserves A tier. I'll tell you why. Yes, it's not good against other vehicles, but it is good against infantry. It's also good for, just getting ahead to a certain area of the map if you want to faster. But I enjoy this shooting infantry, and it does have a right click which you can shoot these little rocket things. These I forget what they're called exactly, but it shoots these balls of explosives out, and it can deal some damage to the enemy tanks, but overall, they're more about speed, shooting infantry, and getting kills that way, and I really do enjoy them. They're also pretty badass. I remember when I first saw these in the movies, and I was like, oh my god, this looks amazing. So yeah, I highly recommend these. I enjoy them. I think they control really well, unlike that other thing, the STAP. That thing was, this controls awfully. Let's grab the All-Terrain Scout Transport, which is the ATST here. And yeah, I'm going to throw this one into A tier as well. I'm going to throw it above the ATRT here. So yeah, the reason I put these in A tier is because of a few things. I'm a bit biased on these, but I remember seeing them in the movies, and I thought it was really, really cool. I love the way they added in the Battlefront 2 Classic game, the indoor map with the trees. I like the trees getting destroyed by them. It's a cool, thing that happened in the movie, and we can do it in game. So yeah, I highly recommend these. I think they deserve A tier. They can destroy infantry very fast. They're not probably as good against, other vehicles and all, but overall they're still pretty damn good, I think. So I have to recommend them just for that, and they're so iconic as well. And I guess we should talk about something mainly iconic, and that is the AT-AT. Boom. So as you can see, I've put it into the S tier, and the All-Terrain Armored Transport is my favorite vehicle in all of Star Wars. It really is. It's just badass. It looks cool. It's in the original trilogy. It's just so bloody cool. Like, look at it, it's massive. I love the way in the game you can also get into it and experience the Hoth map, which is one of my favorite maps in the entire game. So I really, really enjoyed it indeed. Episode 5 was so cool, so to be able to experience that in game form was amazing. So I have to put it in S tier. It's super iconic. Even if you don't know the name of this thing, you have seen it, and most, casual people, or people that don't really know anything about Star Wars, they know at least what this thing looks like, the AT-AT. So that, it just proves that it should be an S tier. If someone who doesn't really, know Star Wars, and they know what this is, that's damn cool indeed. Alright, so we're going to go with the speeder bikes from the Rebels and Empire, and then the speeder bikes from the Clones, which I think might be called the Bark Speeders. I can't remember, so let me know in the comments below if I got that right. But overall, I'm going to have to put these in C tier, just under average and above the D tier. I just think they're not the best, but at the end of the day, they are kind of iconic, especially the Rebel one, the Empire one here. I really do think they are kind of fun to actually drive around on, unlike the STAP here. I don't think that one's it doesn't control as good. These control really well. The thing that I don't like about them, though, is they can be destroyed very easily by just hitting a small rock or a tree, and you're done. You're dead. So that's the only thing I like about them, but it is fun to, you know, hit certain areas of the map with these, and of course get some air with them. But I can't even put them in average, because at the end of the day, I never really enjoyed them that much. But I will say it is fun to go around indoor and shoot enemies with this speeder bike, because yeah, it's super iconic indeed. So next we'll look at the AAC hover tank. This thing's interesting. So I actually, you know what, I used to hate this thing. Back in the day, I would have put this in the old trash rubbish bin here in D tier, but I'm going to have to put it above that. I'm going to have to put it into average. I think it's honestly average at this point. It's not my most fun vehicle or anything like that. I just like the rockets on it, the way you can just shoot them a ton. They're not very accurate unless you are very close to your opponent. Then you can, of course, just blast them point blank with this, and it'll deal massive damage. But yeah, I don't really like these. They're only on one map, the most hated map, in my opinion, for me at least. And yeah, it's just not, I don't know, I just can't put it above average. I don't think they deserve to be there. They're only on one map as well. They're just in my opinion. Nothing special. But I will say, shooting all those rockets, that's a lot of fun. So they at least get average compared to when, you know, if you'd asked me a year or two ago, I would have definitely put this in D tier. So I've grabbed the armored tank droid. So you might recognize this. This is from the Separatists, the Droids. And I'm gonna have to put this one. I'll have to put this one in here as well on average. I'm going to put it under the old hover tank here, because I don't think it's as good as that. I think it's very cool looking, don't get me wrong. I think the track on it's cool, but I think the weapons on it are quite rubbish. I never liked them. They're not very good. Now, in the movies and all, I thought they were really cool, badass to look at. But yeah, in this game, they just don't feel the best. I think it's average. They do their job, and they're alright. You know, I think the left click deals with infantry, while the right click shoots out like little bombs that definitely deal with vehicles. So you kind of have, you know, an average tank droid, basically. That's what it is. It's average. The Snowspeeder. Yes, this thing's pretty iconic as well. There's so many vehicles in this game that truly are iconic, but we're gonna have to throw the Snowspeeder. I might have to throw this. Oh, this is tough. I'm going to throw it top tier of A, and I'll tell you why I'm going to do this. I remember when I saw them in the movies, pretty damn cool, and I was really, really happy these were in the game. I was not expecting it when I was a young lad, and I thought when they were in the game, you'd only be able to shoot out of it the lasers and maybe some rockets or something like that. But once I found out the tow was actually in the game as well, and you could get in there and shoot it yourself, and also just wrap around the AT-AT to simply take it down like they do in the movies, that was epic. It truly deserves to be above average. It's super badass. And you have to remember, this game came out in 2005, and it had this in the game. Like, that's truly insane for 2005 on the PS2. I was having so much fun with this. Sadly, for the video though, I don't have any clips of me getting the tow onto the AT-AT. I don't know what it was. I was making footage for this and completely failing over and over. It's kind of embarrassing. Alright, next we have the All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer. This is the ATTE, and I have to say, I actually think this thing's pretty damn cool, especially because it's in the clone era, so I'm going to have to throw this. Honestly, it almost gets into S tier. Do you know what? We're gonna throw it into S tier. It was top of A tier, but I'm gonna have to throw it into S tier. I think this thing is badass. It's so cool. I remember when I first saw these in the movies and, you know, the shows and all, I was like, wow, that is cool. That is badass. You got the cannons on front, you got a cannon on top. I remember when I saw these in like the TV shows and all the movies and stuff, it was so cool to see them. Like, they have a big cannon on top of the vehicle that just shoots at things. They have cannons on the front that shoots at things, and then they have machine guns basically on the back. This is so cool. And it is weird they put machine guns on the back of this one. I could be wrong, but isn't it by lore these usually like blasters, like green blasters that shoot out the back? Could be wrong on that. Let me know if I am. But yeah, I just found it really cool. They deserve to be an S tier with the AT-AT because they're chunky, they're badass, and they remind me of a turtle. And you know what they say about turtles? Turtles always win. Because we're in the Clone Wars, we might as well do the Spider Walker next. So the Spider Walker, where could we put this bad boy? I'm going to put the Spider Walker average, top of average, just because it does have a laser, which is cool. It's really good against, you know, infantry. It kind of does some damage to the vehicles as well. But overall, it's slow. It just, you know, it's not the fastest thing. It's quite ugly. I understand why some people really like this thing, but for me, I just don't think it's that cool. I think it's alright. It's just a ball with some legs on it. Kind of reminds me of an insect. So, if it didn't look like an insect, I would probably put it higher. And if it was kind of designed cooler. But yeah, I have to put it an average. It just looks average. The laser's the coolest thing on it. And yeah, that's my little vote for that. My little rating for that one. Top of B. So as you can see, I have the Hailfire droid. So I saw this in episode 2, and let's just rank it real quickly. I'm going to put it A tier beneath the Snowspeeder. You know what? I'll put it top of A tier. I'll tell you why. First of all, I saw this in the movie episode 2, and I thought it was badass when it was just mowing down rockets out of like shooting like crazy, running droids over and stuff, and just not giving, you know, one toot. It was just... it'd kill anything. Friendlies, enemies, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I remember seeing this and I was like, these things look so cool and fast. And, you know, in this game, they're not the best, but I think they are canon. Like, I honestly think the rockets are completely just shoot off in random directions. There's no aiming these things. The only way you can really aim it is if you get point blank and you shoot them point blank. That's really the only way you can aim this thing. It does have some machine guns as well that it can shoot, but overall, the rockets are so cool. It's super fun. It's canon. Like, it works the way it should, just like the movie. And yeah, it's fast as well. So I have to put it top A tier. I know that some of you will be like, wow, this thing is a complete pile of rubbish in the game. I'm going to put this in D tier. So let me know in the comments if you're one of those people. But I just think it's so cool. You know, my young childhood is just like, this thing's cool, so it has to be there. It has to go in top of A tier. Finish off with the Armored Assault Tank here, the AAT. This, I think, is average. I don't think it's amazing or anything. I'm going to do bottom of average, actually. It is quite tanky because it's a tank, but I do think it's just meh. You know what? We'll put it above this. There we go. That's where it deserves to be. But yeah, I just don't really think it's cool or anything like that. I think in the movies, it does look cooler when there's a ton of them. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't really enjoy it that much. I think the turret on top that shoots is the most powerful thing it does have. And, yeah, it's just alright. It's alright. It's average, you know. It's just average. Now, for our last one, we have the IFTX. So, where would I put this? It's similar to this little guy here we just put down, but I'm going to have to put it top of B tier, top of average tier, and I'll explain why. Yes, it's got rockets it shoots, and it shoots lasers and all, but I really like the laser on top of this thing. I just like getting in that turret and just shooting people. I also like the way when you're in the turret, you can actually be killed out of it. So an explosion can kill you, someone can snipe you out of it. But yeah, I think that's a cool little feature and keeps it immersive as well. So I have to do top of average. I don't think it can go anything higher, just because it's just a simple little, you know, thing that floats around and shoots enemies. You know, a lot of the other ones are just way cooler in my opinion. So yeah, top of average. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know some of you will look at my list and be like, this is the worst list ever created on the planet of YouTube. But at the end of the day, this is what my opinion is right now. And as I said, some of these I would have, you know, used to throw in the rubbish bin, but I've kind of put them up as time has gone on. So maybe I'll come back in a couple years or a year from now and see if this list is still similar to what I think it is right now as of making the video. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the list. Let me know about your list. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe. It is completely free and it really does help my channel grow big time. Anyways, I'll see you in another one. Cheerio!